in this world right now today, what's happening in this world today is that with every in the name of religion, in the name of caste, in the name of country, gender, whatever differences they can find, color, sex, whatever, people are dividing. People are divided. So what is happening is that they have forgotten humanity is their religion. And this is right now going on in the whole world right now. So what happens is that when bullies of the world, they want to dominate and control everything in this world, right? Because that's how they think that they can control the world and they can benefit out of it, profit out of it. So if they want to do that, they are going to put rules and regulations, and they are going to create chaos. Now, if the problem with the good people in the world is that they don't want to interact, they want to live in peace, and they don't want to be bothered about, okay, you're a bully or you're doing something negative or bad. So long it's not happening to me, it's fine. I don't want to get involved, because that's how we all think. Because we all want peace, peaceful life. So that's what's happening. And so what's happening is that when we do not get involved with the people who are doing wrong, what's happening is giving them a message that whatever they are doing is working, and also it is fine by you guys, because you are because that's the message that they get. They get emboldened and they get power from that, just your withdrawal, right? So what happens is then their negativity or whatever they are doing becomes more aggressive. It becomes stronger, it becomes more aggressive, and eventually one copies the other, and then all the bullies come together, and eventually it becomes a way of life. And then what happens? All those bullies and all those negative peoples come to kill who? The people who did not want to get involved. Understand? So what is happening is those negative, because it's now become so strong and powerful with the whole group of it. Before it was just one, but now it's become a whole group. And what is happening now? So they are using that group power to control and kill the people who are good, right? So what is happening? Those people who did not want to get involved are now getting killed because of these, because of their non-involvement. So what do we have to do? We have to be first get aware of it. First you have to get aware that the whatever that is happening, if you feel it's wrong for the society and for the humanity and for yourself also, you have to put your foot down. You have to at least call it out. You have to shout it out. Yes. See, when you did the shouting out, what did happen? He went and he closed the door and he hid behind the door. Right. He didn't have the courage. And because all these bullies and all these people who are negative are actually in themselves very insecure, and they do not have the courage to face the reality, face the truth. So they say, okay, what I believe is good because it's working for me, and in this way I'm going to convince other people also to be like me, and that way I can control others. So we have to first of all build the awareness that this is all wrong. And the awareness can be built now if you can't go and fight with all the bullies of the world, right? So what do? We have to raise the awareness. And awareness can be risen by calling it out. By, if there are posts, you spread the word. This is wrong. So you, just like they build up a group of negative people around them and becomes a strong community, similarly the good people also have to do the same. And then only you can face it. Where is the negativity? Because otherwise the negativity will become the way of life, and eventually it will wipe out the goodness. So it's very important. And actually this happened in Mahabharata. That's a story in Indian history. And Lord Krishna, I'm sure you guys have heard of Lord Krishna, and he gave the Gita. Gita was one of his dialect that he did with one of his students, and as I've told you guys, the dialect was like that. I've told you the story before also, that they were cousins, and one set of 5 brothers and one were 100 brothers, and then they did not. The 100 brothers' father was on throne, and he did not want to give anything to his brother's kids, even though his brother was actually the king, and he had left and went to the forest to do the meditation. So he gave his throne to him just to take care. So he was like a king, and what do you call them? When you make somebody sit for a while to take care of the throne until I come back. So that was the not aid, but like a
someone take his place while he
replacement, and that was only for a short while, but unfortunately he got killed, so he never came back. So this guy kept sitting, and then he declared himself as a king, and then so basically his children were there, so his children were making a claim on the throne. Similarly, his kids were also making a claim on the throne. So the Lord Krishna, he did not, he wanted peace. So he said, okay, why don't you give 5 villages, there are 5 brothers, give 5 villages to these kids, so they can all rule on one village, and that way, and you keep the rest of the nation. You have 100 kids. So, but out of greed and out of, because they have 100 and they were very powerful, so they said, no, we are not going to give nothing. And then this war was, Lord Krishna said, okay, we are going to go to war, because these 5 brothers were very big, good warriors. So they wanted to go and, so Lord Krishna actually declared war. He said, no, if you're not going to give them anything, then there will be a war. They're not going to just stand by and let you take everything. So what happened was, then during the war, one of the sons of that old king, the 5 brothers, one of them his name was Arjuna, and Arjuna was a very big, good warrior, and he said he was supposed to start the war, and just before he started the war, as soon, in olden days, they would stand in front of each other, and then they would declare with a horn that it's going to war, it's going to start, and they would rush towards each other. Yes, and then they would go fast, going towards each other with the swords, and then, start killing each other. So that's how it was, they were standing in the line in front of each other, and Lord Krishna was with the 5 guys, because he did not want to fight Lord Krishna, because he said, I'm just a mediator, so I'm not going to fight on anybody's behalf, but people can choose, either you can take me or my army. So those 100 people, they said, what is he going to do alone? We will take the army. So their army was like 10 times bigger than this 5 people with Lord Krishna. So, but Lord Krishna had a lot of powers, so he was born with the powers, and he had all the knowledge. So anyway, these guys were not aware of it also, and they did not believe in it also. So so when they were standing next to each other, in front of each other, this Arjuna said, oh, they are all my cousins, and that's my uncle. How can I go and fight with those people, They are all my cousins, and why should we fight for just a piece of land? It's all right, we'll just go and live a normal life. We don't need that. So he kind of backed off, So then Lord Krishna gave the sermon. He gave you could say, we call it as a Gita, and that was his dialect that he gave to Arjuna at that time. And of course, it was not literally not like that. It was just that that information was downloaded in his mind and he understood it, because you cannot be giving a big sermon of 2 hours in few seconds.
Right.
So, but he got the message and he understood, and then he was supposed to start fighting. So the message itself was that you never allow the negativity or the badness, or what you call as good or evilness.
Evil.
Yes,
Evil.
you never allow the evil to grow, because if you do that, because you are a good person and you say, okay, that's what he was doing. Okay, I'm not going to. I don't care. I'll just live a normal life. I don't need 5 villages or whatever. So he said that you never allow the evil to grow, because if you let the evil grow, it will become a way of life, because everybody, because you are the leaders, the whole community will follow. Who do we follow? Our leaders, right? We see how they live, we want to emulate and do exactly what they do. So he said the whole community, whole society will be following you guys, and if you are going to back out, they will also have to tolerate the evilness. They will also say, okay, why should I get engaged with the evil people? Let me just tolerate it and move away. But what will happen then? The evil will grow, and once, if it becomes bigger, it will become the way of life. And then those evil people will come and kill the good people. So you will anyway not survive. So he said, this is not a war between you cousins. It is a war between good and evil. So evil always has to be destroyed. It has to be called out. Now in this world right now, we cannot go and fight with everybody, but we can call it out. We can increase the awareness with different posts. Whatever is happening, if it is wrong, if you feel it's wrong, it should be spread. People's awareness should grow, and they should understand this is wrong and it has to be stopped. And when we all come together, that is the only way we can stop the evil. Also, supposing, let's talk about Islam. You know, in Islam they call about jihad. You guys have heard of it?
Yes.
So jihad is killing anybody who does not believe in Islam. Okay, so that is like killing your freedom of speech, or killing your freedom of will, basically, free will. You know, you have to either follow Islam or you will be killed. That's what they believe. So this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong, right?
Yes.
Because the free will has been given by the universe to everybody, and everybody is free to choose, and that's how you create your own karma. That's how you create your karmic obligations with each other. So if they are doing jihad, you know, if the Islam is saying, okay, I'm going to do the jihad meaning war against people who do not believe in Islam, who do not want to convert and who do not want to follow Islam, I'm going to kill them. That is jihad. That's what they believe. And if they are doing it, and if there are some, it's not like, there must be, like you could say, maybe 10% of the, if there's a population of 1.2 billion Muslims, maybe 10% of those must be jihadis. Rest 90% are not, right? They are regular people, and they do not believe that we need to control everybody or control their minds, or
We're talking about extremism.
right? So those are the people who are killing also. It's not that every Muslim is killing each another. So now those 10% have to be stopped. What is happening? West is trying to control them, right? West has been waging a war against Osama bin Laden and whatnot, and different communities. Other people also, like other religion people also, like Hindus and other people also are getting involved, trying to, because everybody is dealing with that same problem in their own country. So every country is trying to deal with that problem alone, on their own basis, right? So, but my point is that if 10% of their community is wrong and 90% is saying yes, they are wrong, but they are not calling it out to them. If you go and talk to them and you say, you know, what they are doing is wrong, say, yeah, they are wrong, but this is how it is, this is how it's written in our books, and that's, we have to follow that, and they are doing it, but we are not doing it, we are not with them, right? But what do they need to do? What do the 90% have to do?
Do something. Stand up.
They have to stand against them and call it out.
Right.
So what's happening is when another community people call out and say you're wrong, they say, oh, you see, Hindus are saying we are wrong, Christians are saying we are wrong, but we are not, because they are not understanding our religion and they do not want us to grow. So that's why they are calling us wrong, right? That's what they tell you. This is how they justify it.
Yeah.
That you do not understand us, you do not know our religion, and this Allah is the only one, and nobody else can exist, and nobody is bigger than that. So they justify it with different quotations. But if the people of the same community stand up and say, okay, I know the religion, I know what's in the book, and I don't think that Allah would like you to kill other people just because they don't believe in Him. You know, they have other gods, let them believe their gods and let you believe in whatever you want. Conversion is not needed, because why? Because religion is ultimately trying to preach you what? To be a good person. Killing cannot be a part of that good personality, right? But you are using that as a tool to make convert, to say, okay, Allah is the only one ruler. So what is needed right now is not that every other community trying to stop them. Their own community people need to stand up against them and tell them that they are wrong. That is the only way they will stop. If 90% come and tell them 10% you are wrong, they will have to back off. And then they cannot even argue that you do not know, you are not our religion, you don't understand us, you do not, you have to believe in this. Because then these people themselves will tell you what you are interpreting the religion, the way you are interpreting, you are wrong. Right? Mm-hmm. So what I'm trying to say is, our religion, first of all, the religion of every human being is to be a good human being. Yeah. That is the humanity.
Right.
And we as a human beings are killing each other in the name of religion, in the name of country. Ukraine and Russia war, what is this? Line of one line, mm-hmm. You know? Otherwise, people living on either side of the line, what does it matter? Everybody is a human being, right? And everybody has a right to survive. Everybody has a right to live and take care of themselves. The policy should be live and let live. But it's not happening, is it? Because the greed is there, the different ideologies, and because they want to enforce their own perception, they want to control people, and greed is a big thing. Because if your house has some gold in there, they want to come and steal that gold, and so now they are waging a war against you. So what is this? Gold is also ultimately just a stone. A piece of stone, which you human beings have created value for that. Otherwise, it's just a piece of another stone. It's just golden in color.
The more valuable stuff on the earth is water.
Yes, and that they're destroying. And the air. And the air, because the air, if you don't breathe, you won't survive. Water, you won't drink, you won't survive. Food, if you don't have a good food, healthy food, you won't survive. But they are not valuing that.
No.
What are they valuing? The oil underneath, the gold, diamonds, all those things. They're digging up the planet Earth, which has given you a home. And you're digging it up and you're creating havoc in the equilibrium of that planet. As a result, more tsunamis, more earthquakes, more all sorts of hurricanes, all sorts of imbalancing, and this climate catastrophe. It's all because we ourselves have created this. We have created it, and we are continuing to create it in the name of greed, in the name of mine and yours. There's no need for all that demarcations. These lines were created for the management purposes, easy management, and because of different cultures were created on the basis of different climates of each region. So people living in the north would wear jackets, but people near the equators don't need it because it's very hard. So that's how the cultures and the food, whatever plants were near the equator became their food. plants growing in the north became their food. So it was like cultural difference came because of the survival needs, and we have to understand it and adopt it like that. We have to adapt it like that, and respect everybody's cultural difference, because as I told you, even in flowers there are so many varieties. You cannot compare and compete. You can't say rose is better than lilies, because some people like lilies, some people like rose. So it doesn't matter. Both of them have their own qualities. Both of them are very pretty. Enjoy both. And if you don't want to enjoy both, at least don't criticize. Right? So that should be the attitude. And right now, because in the name of this greed and all, a lot of wars are happening. They are investing, the human beings are investing more money in the arms and ammunitions to kill each other rather than food and water and climatic, which they need to correct.
That's my question. How much can we do now? The evil is spreading really fast in
Yes.
the whole world.
Yes,
It's too much going on. I
Too
don't
much.
think we're going to be able to stop all this mess.
you can't. But the nature also has a way of stopping. So what's happening? What's happening? Because as I told you, the Earth's vibrations have increased, right? So Earth is vibrating at a higher frequency. So as a result, people only who are able to vibrate at a higher frequency, meaning who are more positive, who are more happier, who are more joyful, who are more in connection with the universe and the universal knowledge and power and energy, will be able to survive. And the other people who are negative, who are vibrating at a low frequency and who do not want to change, are going into depression. You see that? People are going in depression. A lot of people are getting killed in wars. A lot of people are getting killed in tsunamis and all the climatic disasters that is happening. The earth is wiping out the population in one, like COVID came and killed 1 million people in one year. Wars will not kill 1 million people, but COVID came and killed it. So cleansing is happening automatically. Universe takes care of it, because also the earth also doesn't want the negative vibrations anymore on it. It's saying, if you match my vibrations, which is why higher, be positive, and then you can survive. Otherwise, just leave. And that's what's happening. So equilibrium will be maintained by the universe automatically. But what I'm saying is, if we understand it and we ourselves are willing to change it, that will help us to be able to live on this planet and enjoy and create happy experiences with each other. Yes?
I grew up in the 50s and 60s, and they didn't care about money. They were like all flower children and peace and love and all that. And they didn't care about money at all.
No.
And then at some point it changed, and then money.
The 80s came.
The capitalism came.
So
So
now,
as soon as the capitalism came, it became, okay, now competition with each other and trying to put others down and be on top of the others. And that's what destroyed the planet.
so now will it probably change back?
Of course, it is changing already, and it will change back. And you will see by the end of all this is a period of cleansing, we call it. So we call it as a period of cleansing which is happening. And cleansing is done by the universe and by the earth on planet itself. And it's happening, and you will see by the end of it, I think one third of the population will survive. The rest will be all wiped out. And then, because 2/3 is now in negative zone, and they will have to leave. And then 1/3 of also is a big number. Right now, if it's 7 billion people, 1/3 is also like 2.5 billion people on the earth will still be there. So to continue with the next generations, and they will understand it. They will then accept the good values. They will accept the positivity, and that's how it has to happen. It happens with after some thousands of years. It always happens like this, and this is how it. But what I'm trying to say is not needed. All this is so we have to call out the bullies. We have to increase the awareness. It is our duty. If we do not, then eventually we will be the target. of those bullies, and we will be wiped out by those negative people. So it's very important.